Hey, it's Lori. So I'm standing here with a little paper in my hand because I wrote down some notes. This is a weekend vlog, and I realized I never did an intro. Hold on. What, Chase? Oh, okay. He didn't know I was recording. Anyway, so I realized I never did an intro, so here it is. This is the intro, and I wrote down the notes because I don't know that I'll remember everything that's in the video, and I'm going to tell you real quick. The video is all about what I did over the weekend. I did a little bit of food prep. I do remember that part. I put together my coffee stand. I might have forgotten to tell you that, but I'm looking at it right now. I love it. It's beautiful. Yes. And I'm going to show you what I made for dinner yesterday and why I made it. It's like, oh my goodness. So yeah, you'll see all that. And oh yeah, did a little bit of prep in the house for the deep freeze that we're in right now. It's really cold outside. I don't know what the temperature is right now, but this morning it was 5 degrees and wait, I wrote it down, 13 below wind chill. So yeah. And I'm gonna throw together some of the Oyster Cracker snack mix. So if you want to see how that's made, stay tuned. I'm gonna show you how I make the Oyster Cracker snack mix. And I never made it on New Year's Eve. I was gonna make it New Year's Eve, but we ended up with so many other snacks, and we played a game and did all the things, and I just never got around to making it. And the guys were like, "Yeah, that's okay," because they knew I had the stuff to make it, so they knew they were gonna get it eventually. And then that's gonna be right now. So anyway, what else? Oh goodness, I guess that's about it. I did write down that I'm gonna get into the fridge and see what needs done in there as far as what's in there that needs to be eaten up. I don't think there's anything that needs to be tossed in the garbage, but there might be some things in there that need to be eaten soon. So I'm gonna check that out just to make sure we don't waste food. I did make some Johnny Marzetti. That's over here in this pan. I don't know if the handles are too hot to show it to you. Let me see. This is the big pot of Johnny Marzetti, and I don't know what the actual recipe is for it, like how you're actually supposed to make Johnny Marzetti, but I make it the way that it used to be in school, like in high school. I don't know how they made it either, but it tastes just like this, except mine's better. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. It actually is. But I make it with the Banza pasta, so it's made with protein pasta, ground beef and ground sausage, and mushroom soup, some butter, salt and pepper, some milk, and that's it. That's all that's in it. So yeah, that's how I make that. And I think I told you everything that's on my little list here. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the video. And we have some food prep going today. I have the package of ground beef from Costco. I think it was about 5.5 pounds, cooked up with some onions in it and salt and pepper. Over here is the rest of it. I didn't take this out. Instead, I put in some marinara with it for protein lasagna. That's what that ground beef is going to be for. I have it still turned on high, and I'm just going to leave the lid off and leave it on high for a little bit. Hopefully, it'll kind of thicken up a little bit. I'm thinking it will. We'll see. But that's what that's going to be for, the protein lasagna. Okay, so what else am I working on? Let's see. Right here. That coffee stand I was telling you guys about that I ordered from Amazon. I'm finally going to get that put together today. And it's going pretty good. This is the drawer. And I'm not in love with it. It's one of those, it's like a fabric tote type thing, but it's the drawer. I didn't know it was going to be like that, but it is. So we'll make it work. Okay, here's the instructions. I like this kind of instructions. It's very simple to the point instructions. So I don't like it when they're all wordy and complicated. That just makes it confusing. So yeah, and over there, propped up by the stove, is the rest of the parts. And we're going to give this a check real quick and see how it's coming along. I think it is starting to thicken up a bit. That's kind of what I was looking for. So I'm going to leave it for just a little bit longer, and then I'll get it all packaged up, and I'll let it cool a little bit first, and then I'll get it all packaged up ready for the freezer. And here we are. We have them all packaged and ready to go in the freezer. Cooked ground beef with onion and S&P, or salt and pepper. This one's kind of smeared, but that's okay. And this is for the protein lasagna. It says don't eat. They might think it's sloppy Joe or something, you know? So I figured I better put that. So I've got the crock pot on warm now with a used dryer sheet in it. And that used dryer sheet's going to collect all the grease in there and the gunk, and then you can just throw it out when you're done. And here we are. We have the coffee stand all done. I really like it. I really like it. It looks really nice. And it's actually roomier than I expected. I mean, I saw the measurements and everything when I ordered it, but this part down here with the doors, it's a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, I guess. So I'm not going to just shove stuff in it. I'm going to wait and see what I think would be a good idea to put in there first. And this shelf, the same thing. The drawer, I already kind of have an idea of one thing I want to put in it, which I'll show you here shortly. I was kind of afraid that it might be too crammed in this little space right here, but I think it'll work. The door that you see back there, our furnace is in there, so the stand is on wheels because we may need to move it. Over here we've got the coffee pot with the flashing lights. Clean, clean. I have to run a clean cycle. One side is espresso machine, the other side is coffee maker. Both sides need cleaned, so I need to run those clean cycles and get those done. And here we are, all cleaned and all set up now, except for I don't have anything on the shelf yet, and I'm fine with that. But here's what I put in the drawer: just some of my Newman's K-Cups, and the ones on top there are the Great Value K-Cups that everybody else uses. And no blinking lights, so it's all clean and shiny. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. There's Max down there. He's getting big quick. He's getting a drink of water. Sylvester here waiting his turn in line for his drink of water, I guess. And it's the next day. Here we are, not going to the White Elephant Party. You're making a lot of racket back there. Sorry. Not going to the White Elephant Party because it got canceled. Don's mom is sick. She has COVID. So, since I already had these started, I guess we're having meatballs today. Luckily everybody likes them because that's what we're having. That is what we're having, but now I'm going to have to buy meatballs again in a couple of weeks because they said they're going to try to reschedule. Oh well, I'm making some stuff to go with it. And here's our side dishes. We got Kraft mac and cheese, we have green beans, and we have corn. If the green beans look a little funny, it's because they're actually from Christmas. I put them in the freezer. Same with the corn. Corn looks pretty good. Green beans look a little funky, but they'll still be good. I couldn't see wasting all these, so I stuck them in the freezer, and here they are, ready to eat. Cheese and meatballs. Getting the house all ready for the cold spell tonight. I've got cooling racks here to keep the cat out. And I've got some electrical tape there, as you can see, and that's holding those cooling racks in place so they don't get knocked down by this guy right here, because he keeps jumping in and knocking everything all over the place. Yeah. And then we're going to throw some towels in the wash. Might as well throw some towels in. I'm just going to put in a few, and I'm going to set it so that it'll start in the middle of the night so we can keep some water flowing through these pipes in here. So, I mean, how can you let the water drip in the washing machine? You can't. So I'm going to put it on cold water, and I'm going to set it on the delay wash for 4 hours. That way it'll start somewhere around 2:30 in the morning. We do have the faucets dripping just a little bit too with the cold water to keep them from freezing. Okay, I'm going to make some oyster cracker snack mix. And it's called Cracks SNAX. C-R-A-X. Cracks SNAX. That's what it said on the recipe that I originally had. I'm not sure where the original recipe is that was written by the lady that gave it to me. Her name is Jerry Davis, in case you wondered. But here's what it calls for. I'm making a large batch because this will only last a couple days here. So, the big batch. The recipe calls for a bag of oyster crackers. This is a 9-ounce bag. A packet of ranch dressing mix, which is about a 1/4 cup. Plus a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. A 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder if you want it. You don't have to. That's optional. A teaspoon of dill weed. Mix it all together, toss it around in the crackers, and bake it at 250 Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. You also don't have to bake it, but it's better if you do. So I don't have any dill weed. When I went to the store to buy it, it's been a while ago now. I was actually going to make this for New Year's, and when I went to the store for the dill weed, they didn't have it. So I got this freeze-dried dill, and I think it'll be fine. So that's what I'm going to use. I just use Crisco oil. You can use just vegetable oil, but you can use whatever oil you want. Avocado oil. If you use olive oil, depending, it might give you a different flavor. So I didn't put any garlic powder in here. I think I'll put a little bit of garlic powder in here with this. And like I said, I have 4 bags of oyster crackers, so I'm quadrupling it. And that's a good amount to have for here. We have a household of 6, and these guys here, they're gonna eat this stuff up. So I'm doing a full cup of the ranch seasoning mix. There's 4 packets in here, and I put it in here to show you it is about a cup, and it's probably kind of settled in there a little bit, so I'm gonna say it's about a cup. And I do have a cup of vegetable oil here. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic powder in there real quick. Okay, I'm not gonna necessarily measure it, but yeah, I'll just sprinkle it in. And it calls for 1/4 teaspoon for a single batch, so I don't know how much I put in, but that's how much I put in right here. So I'm gonna mix this in with the oil, then we'll get it mixed in with the crackers. Oh, I'm gonna put the dill in, and it calls for a teaspoon, so I don't know if I want a whole tablespoon, but we'll get close. I believe there's 4 teaspoons in a tablespoon. How many teaspoons in a tablespoon?
1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons.
Okay, so there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon, but we'll go with that. I'll put a little bit more in. I don't know how this stuff is as compared to like dill weed, but we're gonna find out, aren't we? Well, we are anyway. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm gonna put this in. Got my little whisk that I'm gonna whisk it up with. Whoa, don't spill it. Don't spill it. Too late. Too late, I already did. Hold on. Okay. So I'm just getting it mixed up in there real good. It'll get a little thick. Okay, there we go. Let me get a little scraper out. Yeah, I'm gonna get these all into my big mixing bowl real quick. Okay, there's 4 bags of oyster crackers. Dump this stuff in. Get it all scraped in there. Real good. Okay. And I'm gonna toss it around really quick. I think I have them pretty well all coated now. You don't want to wait at all before you start mixing it real good, because if you let it soak in, it's not going to mix around as good. So I'm actually going to mix it just a little bit more. Okay, it looks like it's all pretty well coated. So I'm going to go ahead and get these on baking sheets. Okay, I have them all spread out on 2 baking sheets, so I'd be happy if they were a little bit, like if I had a 3rd baking sheet, which I do, but I don't want to dirty another one, so they're a little thick on there, but you know what? It says to bake them at 250 for 15 minutes. I'm going to leave them in for about 8 minutes, take them out, stir them around on the trays, put them back in for about another 7 minutes. So that's how I'm gonna do it. Okay, I put them in for 8 minutes, stirred them around a bit, and put them back in. I switched the racks too, and I put them back in for another 8 minutes. That's how I did it. And I mean, you're not really looking to like brown them or anything like that. You just want to kind of bake them at 250, just to kind of bake in the oils and the seasonings. So I'm gonna let them sit here. If you saw, I do have them on little racks. Right here, I have them on these racks. So I'm just gonna let them sit here for a few minutes and cool off. And then I'll put them in, I got some Ziploc bags out, and I'll put them in these Ziploc bags. So they are addictive. So if you make them, just know that ahead of time. They are really good. Okay, let's let them cool off for a little bit. I will tell you this, if you're gonna try them warm, right out of the oven, they're even more addictive. Okay, these are all cooled off, so I'm gonna get them into some Ziplocs. And the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna use a paper plate. It's a flimsy one as a scoop. So, yeah, I'm gonna use my hands. That's okay. I don't think anybody here minds if I touch them a little bit. So it makes a nice little scoop. I'm gonna make up a couple of smaller bags. These are just quart sized. This one's a gallon sized. These are quart sized. Oops, I'm starting to spill out a little bit. There we go. Okay. Got my trash can right here, so I'm gonna scoop those crumbs right into it. And these are, like I said, these things are addictive, so don't say I didn't warn you. But they're so easy to make, and they're nice to take to like a party or, you know, a get together or something like that for a little snack to set out for everybody. But yeah, so here we go. Oyster Cracker SNAX. So yeah, that's it. And I have done a couple more loads of laundry today just to keep water flowing through those pipes in the laundry room. And other than that, we're all just trying to keep warm. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.